All my life, I've been a performer, a musician, beloved and celebrated by all. But I have a secret. I'm also a playground for sprites and spirits and... worse. The voice that rings inside me now is darker than any that came before. Almost caused a bunch of my fans to rip each other to pieces. But you can trust me. I've got this under control. Step 1. Find out who, or what, is trying to take control of my mind. Step 2. Make it sorry it ever tried.
It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the Magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared and sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead I became part of their story.
So, still a bit groggy, are we? Don't worry. The sedative will easy now. No need to hurry. Get your bearings and report to me up.
I was hoping my upstairs visitor was just playing tricks on me.
Hey, a sheep!
Shaking her fluffy coat, the sheep eyes you balefully, her rectangular eyes like letterboxes to the void. With one sharp hoof, she kicks you right in the shin. Did you expect a needle?
Meet your maker.
Did you expect a needle?
It seems as though there's a pattern in the glove. That can't be natural.
Why, you're look. There you are.
Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest. And he's the chap. You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters. Don't you dare! If you violate the virtue of my carpet, I'll do a good...
Index fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps, oh well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. A new life awaits, and if you're a particularly good girl, perhaps a cure as well. And... everything's spick and span. Nothing left to do, really.
Good gods! There's been a murder here.
A young magister stands pale and silent. Her knuckles whiten around her weapon as you pass.
No known
Behind the
associate.
magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out a face amid the mess.
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Lucky you were busy getting your collar fitted at the time. Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does. Hands to yourself, bloody sorcerer.
No lesions, no trauma. It was bled by magic.
I know it.
You put a knuckle in it. I'm trying to concentrate.
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a barrel.
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like. Rolling dice, deciding fates.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you...
She eyes you quite seriously.
Not the future, no. But I can read the past. I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before last. Shall I?
She gives your arm a vigorous stroke of the tongue.
You were in a cellar with other sorcerers. A dark, dank place. Ha! My, aren't you a pretty cup full of sugar and spice?
She pats you on the shoulder consolingly.
There, don't you worry, darling. You'll see. I don't lick and tell. Don't worry, honey.
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a coy smile.
Never say never, though.
It was one of them. I know it.
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but...
Listen up, Ghetto. You hear that?
More appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty.
He turns his head toward you, looking you up and down.
You look like a ghetto to me. Listen, if you're interested. Or get gone if you aren't.
His eyes snap open. He looks at you and frowns.
Well, there has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magister's more concern than your appetite.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
That right? I always knew you'd turn out rotten and bend nest. Your kind have always hung closest to our divine, like wolves around a campfire.
Murder? I wouldn't know anything. I kill a man. He knows who done it. His daddy knows who done it.
His eyes flutter shut. And
Whether they catch me is another matter. But I ain't...
Classify this slop as food. I've
You
seen
one of
more
them?
appetizing
A divine
things coming
order
out of
loyal?
plague-stricken
They killed a sorcerer, you know. They'll hunt.
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty.
Well,
Turnips and water.
What have we here? A fresh face in this...
the lizard looks you up and down, like all of a sudden he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
I'm inspecting your teeth. In case... There's some discoloration, but I've seen worse. After all, one can't expect to find... Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook? Oh, goodness, no. And don't even mention the demons. On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor? Yes, I can tell from your vagabond chic. A bag is as good as a shirt. On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The delicate art of cosmetics is what I'm after.
One of us would kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
You think me mad?
Mad? Insufferable, surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
Dear Lord, I might as well try and teach mathematics to a dog. So, 3 questions asked, 3 questions answered. Let's evaluate, shall we? As per your own testimony, you have the taste buds of a dung beetle, the fashion sense of a monkey, and that won't do at all, see? I'm sad to say I must deny you the opportunity to be my slave. Ever so sorry.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of this ship with him.
You should probably come to terms with the fact that you've half a mind, full stop. Still, hone your skills, and one day you may just qualify.
Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to concentrate.
I spent my life singing for my slaves to bring me my supper. Meanwhile, the Magisters feast on honeyed meat behind this...
One of us would kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
You think me mad?
Mad? Insufferable.
Here's the register, ma'am. Good, good. Magister William, you faring okay so far?
He tugs the collar of his uniform and chuckles.
Sorry you're upset, ma'am, but we all... You head on in now. Well...
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
Keep those bubbles trained on her, and if she tries to run, shoot.
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fellow?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only...
She turns her head and looks you.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God! The woman's... You there, sorcerer! Go and fetch Magister Siwan! We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
It means your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its finale.
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a...
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts Source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precise.
What's happened?
What? What happened? Must have been you. You dare.
The lizard's eyes close as he slips. The dwarf lies in a heap on the floor, his great beard twisted and tangled around him. He is stock still. You can't see if he's living or dead. You hear a faint thud, thud, thud. Ifan lies motionless, curled on the ground like an animal. Under his shaggy hair, you can see green eyes fluttering. His eyes flicker open, but he doesn't.
Lucian.
Ifan cries out, then his eyes fall closed again.
No, not the final dark. Not yet.
Her hand lies limp in yours. She's too weak.
The dice roll darkly. They're rolling.
God damn it! I need to get off this wreck and quick. Not long before this thing snaps into splinters. What fresh hell is this? Something's pounding on the hull. Damn, that doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards.
You pass through the door and are suddenly face to face with an undead. His skull is the skeleton is quickly leafing through a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous...
No. What damn fool. It catches fire. It turns into must when wet. It cannot even...
The skeleton looks up and notices...
Oh. Yes? Shouldn't you be running or screaming or some such?
The skeleton groans and looks back to his book.
I know your god did not gift you with much. Do you look at me and think, why yes, there is someone with organs enough to drown? No, damp robes are the most I have to fear. Once this glorified skiff hits the seafloor, whereas you, I believe, have lifeboats to pointlessly squabble over. I believe you did. Although I was wearing... I had a mask rather ingeniously designed. A mask that was stolen by that... Still, she'll drown with the rest of these fools. And I will simply pluck my mask from her cold, dead hands. Indeed. Just as sensible as getting off a sinking ship and leaving a fellow... I would say good day, but it seems quite likely that you're about to die a rather...
The skeleton shrugs casually and returns to his book. Was painted recently, judging from its pungent scent. You don't recognize the scent. You press your palm against the door to open. It doesn't budge.
Children and dwarfs first.
The dwarf yanked at one of the nearby boats.
You said there were other people down there.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here.
There's a ladder right over there.
You're gonna be the death of us, you hear? Heads won't be big.
Never leave someone behind.
The Magister lies on the floor, unconscious and bleeding from... The Magister lies on the floor.
If you can walk, get yourself up the ladder. There's a... Wait! Void woken!
Beardless bugs won't sink the ship on my watch.
Let the games begin.
They who are about to triumph.
I've faced worse.
Focus!
Prepare yourself!
worse dead than alive. Let's head above decks for some air.
Let's not tarry. This old tub is about to burst.
Away! The sea's hungry. We don't have much time.
We need to wait.
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Oriven.
Well, the Order's right about one thing. First comes Source, then comes Voidwoken. Am I the lone survivor?